Lily Sunderland was not yet up. It was noon, but there had been a party the night before. And what a party! Lying awake in bed, Lily thought it over in retrospect, and she had only one regret. Nice men, some of them good-looking, but few of them, she suspected, with red blood. Or was it because of her brother, she wondered. Lily and her brother lived together on Midwest Avenue with just one servant. Lily's brother was well-liked, which might, she supposed, account for the fact that she was never besieged too far by her admirers. Or maybe it was for a more serious reason. Her brother, she remembered, had been the best boxer at college, and now he was an assistant prosecuting attorney, rising rapidly upon a solid foundation of personality and brains. Whatever it was, Lily decided, that made her admirers too respectful, she was getting tired of it. She'd left home and come to the large Middle Western city to live with her brother, hoping it would be more exciting than Middle Western small-town life. She sighed, rose, and went into the bathroom with its glistening green tiles and its magnificent sunken pool, with its mirror-covered walls and the dainty glass shelves full of scent bottles in variegated hues and bath salts in oddly shaped containers. Unbuttoning the top part of her pajamas, she hung the sleazy bit of green silk fabric upon a hook. Dainty and rich as the fabric was, it seemed like the sheerest cotton compared to what lay beneath it. For the flesh of the upper part of Lily's body was such as to shame the finest silk. And beside, it was living, pinkly glowing, well-curved texture, with well-fleshed shoulders that were at no point too well padded, but which were covered with not an ounce too much or an ounce too little anywhere of resilient, dimpled flesh. Pulling a white bathing cap on over her rather unruly and naturally curly reddish-gold hair, she looked at herself in the glass. It took a very pretty face to stand such a test. But Lily's face would still have been pretty even if you subtracted her slim throat as well and set the head all by itself upon a table. Large, darkly blue eyes that seemed almost violet in some lights, a prettily rounded and dimpled but nevertheless firm chin. Cheeks naturally pink and dimpled and rounded out to just the proper point to make the almost perfect oval of her face. A tiny, retrousse, provocative nose, with delicate nostrils that twitched when she was excited, which was often, since Lily was only 20 and very much in love with life and her own glowing, vital youth. Lips that were small and that sometimes, when she didn't get what she wanted in a hurry, pouted a bit fetchingly. Lips not thick nor yet thin, lips that were perfect and made especially for kisses. Hot lips, always just freshly damp, and even without touching up, healthily red. Stepping upon the scales built into the floor, she noted that her 5 feet 5 inches still carried just neatly the 120 pounds that rounded out every one of her soft curves, but still made her seem slim as a dancing woodland elf. Looking into the mirror opposite the scales, she tested the consistency of her breasts as against the possibility of their ever getting to droop, which seemed extremely unlikely, since they pouted out almost pointed from a snowy expanse of bosom, their tips in the warm bathroom pinkly tempting and unwrinkled like little rosebuds. Convinced that all was still well with her, Lily stepped into the bath and turned on the shower. After a brisk, cool shower, she allowed warm water to collect in the tub, filled it with the loveliest of bath salts, and sat down in it, lying back on the sloping edge of the tub, and stretching out while her body was impregnated with a scent so soft and so sensual that it seemed, rather than artificial perfume, a soft accentuation of her own sweet, bodily odors. Getting up, she let the water out and rubbed down swiftly with a moss-thick and soft Turkish towel, which brought a deeply pink tinge to her body, making it seem something almost ethereally beautiful. It was then that she heard voices out in the hall. She had left the bathroom door open a bit so as not to exhaust the air in the room. She heard the frightened exclamation of her maid, and then a gruff voice saying, "All you got to do is keep your trap shut, sister, and nothing will happen to you. Let a yap out of you or make a false move and you'll get blasted. Keep your eye on her every minute, Nick, and if she so much as makes a face at you, let her have it." Lily started to dash for the door, intending to lock it. But just as she started for it, she heard a man come down the hall. She fled back to the security of the shower curtain and hid there trembling. Finally, she heard the bathroom door swing open. And then, after a minute, she heard a chuckle from the intruder. Immediately she guessed its cause. Her tiny feet with their jewel-like nails, and her slim ankles, and at least half of a shapely calf showed beneath the shower curtain. "Come out of there," a contralto, rather nice male voice demanded. Lily peeked through the curtain and saw a young man of not over 25. He was flawlessly dressed in a dark brown suit which perfectly fitted him and exactly matched huge dark brown eyes. His hair was jet black and so carefully molded to a well-set head that not a single hair seemed to be out of place. He was handsome. In a foreign sort of way, she guessed that he might well be from the Argentine. His features were sharply cut and almost fawn-like in their accentuation. He had wide shoulders and slim hips, and stood very erect and squarely. His brown eyes laughed. She looked down at the small but uncompromising black gun in his hand. She resorted to pleading.
"Oh, please go away." "It's all right, sister. You don't need to worry. I'm not going to hurt you. Just intend to throw a scare into that brother of yours and give him an idea what might happen if he raids one of Tony Lazzari's places again."
"I'll bet they're nasty places, or he wouldn't raid them. He's a good sport."
"They're not nasty places. They're gambling joints, and they're on the level. And he knows it."
She heard him move across the floor. Suddenly there was the hiss of water turned on, hot water, and her feet were right in the pool. She tried to yank the curtain from its fastenings, but it wouldn't come. She reached out from the curtain, grabbed a towel off the rack, wrapped it around her middle before the hot water reached her feet, and then sprang out of the tub. "Oh, lady!" He gasped in appreciation. "Listen, I've taken some neat tricks in my time, but honest to goodness, lady, I never seen anything to compare."
"My brother will make mincemeat out of you for this."
"Oh, who's afraid of the big bad wolf?"
"Go away, please."
He remained and stared, much impressed.
"That's quite enough of this,"
she remarked primly, but it was hard to be prim, and it was hard to be forceful with burning brown eyes heating up her breasts with avid glances.
"You let me out of here to go and get some clothes on, or I—"
She thought over assorted threats in her mind. There didn't seem to be much of anything that would frighten this laughing-eyed satyr with a deadly weapon in his rather fine-looking hand.
"Or I won't like you at all."
"Ho, ho!" he laughed, imitating a pirate. But he stood uncompromisingly blocking the way to the door.
"What are you going to do?" she asked feebly.
"What do you think?" he asked, and his eyes, which had been smoldering all along, seemed to flame.
"I don't want to think, if you don't mind,"
Lily temporized.
"Well, look it, baby. Suppose you be nice to me, and maybe I won't be so rough as I was going to be. You know, I planned on scaring you out of 10 years' growth when I came in here. And I really ought to at that. It would be nice if you could stay looking just as you are now for another 10 years. But, honest, I kind of like you, just as I really like your brother. Both of us, him and me, are in the racket. There's no reason why we shouldn't get along together. And we will, when he gets over some of those wild ideas every young prosecutor has at first."
"That's all very well, but will you stop staring at me that way and let me go get some clothes on?"
"Take it easy, baby. Geez, can't a guy even look at you?"
Sure, but the way you're looking, it's practically the same as... I don't know what.
I tell you what you do, he temporized. Give me a little kiss, and I'll run along.
No!
She stamped her feet, and the towel slipped a full inch. "Whoop!" he warned. "Be careful." She yanked the towel up.
Going to give me that kiss, baby? Or shall I take it?
Just one?
She bargained.
One will be enough, but let me end it.
All right,
she agreed. He stepped close to her. Lily felt vibrations that were not of short wavelength intensity. It was a kiss such as the kind Lily had often dreamed of experiencing, but had never before known in real life. It lasted so long that Lily almost completely ran out of air, but she didn't care whether she could breathe or not. She was frightened, desperately so. But like the three little pigs, she rather enjoyed being frightened that way. Her arms went up and around his neck without her having consciously willed or directed them to do so. Suddenly, she was brought back to present consciousness by realization of the fact that the towel was again slipping. She sprang away from him and retrieved it, but she didn't need to be afraid of him. Like a man in a daze, he walked backward until the back of his knees struck a stool with a glass top. He sat down weakly for a minute, finally looked up at her.
"Say," he asked, "what did you hit me with?"
I hit you? What are you talking about?
"Oh, baby!"
He sighed and started to get up. This time she was really frightened.
You stay where you are,
she warned,
or I will hit you with something.
"But what's the dope, baby? You seem to like being kissed by me as much as I like kissing you. What's the stall?"
He continued to advance. Frantically, she bargained.
Look,
she pled.
Leave me alone and I'll promise you something.
Yeah?
He stopped, and now some of the kindliness and humor came back to his handsome eyes. But he looked as though he only reluctantly withheld himself from the sweetest tidbit that very wise eyes had ever seen.
If you'll go away now and let me alone, I'll promise that my brother won't raid you anymore, and that you needn't worry about getting into trouble for breaking in here either.
But suppose your brother won't consent not to stop.
All right, I'll go farther than that,
she frantically promised.
If he ever raids you again, I give you my word of honor that I'll come to you at any place you name.
Is that on the level, baby?
Yes.
Well, my main place is at Hogarth and Hawthorne Streets. You go into the restaurant and ask for Tony. The lookout looks you over and calls me. If you're okay and there's nobody with you, he takes you to me through a passage the dicks can't find. But you better not double-cross me. I'm telling you something.
I won't. Honest, I won't. Only go, and if he raids you again, I give you my word I'll keep my promise.
Do you really want me to go?
He mourned.
Yes. And you promised, you know, after one kiss.
All right,
he agreed, and with one last look at her lovely breasts, which she had forgotten to cover with her rather inadequate small hands, he went down the hall, called to his bodyguard, and the front door banged behind them. Suffering from nervous reaction, Lily flew down the hall and grabbed the phone out of the maid's hands.
Don't do that,
she warned.
And you must not, under any circumstances, tell my brother or anyone about this, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand. You don't want it to get into the papers, and you're afraid your brother might get hurt if he heard about it and tried to kill that lug.
Exactly. You will keep quiet then, Mary, won't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Come into my room,
Lily directed. The maid accompanied her to the bedroom. Lily took a $20 bill from her purse and gave it to her.
Now go away and leave me alone,
Lily directed. When the maid had gone and shut the door, Lily lay down upon her perfumed, silk-covered bed and threw away the towel. She stretched out and dreamily closed her eyes. For a long time she lay thus, and then she took up the phone, called her brother. "Hello, sweetheart," he greeted cheerfully.
Listen, Walt, you ever hear of a gangster named Tony Lazzari?
"Sure," her brother responded good-naturedly. "He isn't a bad egg. Lets himself go pretty wide sometimes, and we have to raid him to make him keep more undercover. Else there'd be complaints to this office."
Is he dangerous? That is, if you raided him, would you be likely to get hurt?
No, Tony knows better than that. The mobs never shoot at men from this office.
Then you'll do something just to please me.
You know damn well I'd do anything just to please you.
Raid him tonight.
What for?
Just to please me.
Well, I don't see how you're going to get any kick out of that, but okay. If you say so, I'll stop on my way home and put on a quiet little raid. Lily sent him a kiss over the phone and hung up to go back to her dreaming. A happy St. Valentine's Day weekend to all of you sexy people out there. And I want to say a huge thanks to all of the people whose names you can see moving up the screen right now for their financial support. Particular thanks to Andre D., Banana Fish, Metamorph, Michael Fattori, Wathgwen, and Zanazira. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being your sexy self.